All right, so this week's pose of the week is our single leg side stretch. It is a stretch that we like to practice when we are wanting to stretch into our hamstrings. I've got lots of different modifications to show you, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So to set it up without any of your props, you come to a seated position. You're going to extend the right leg long out in front of you, and then the left knee is going to come bent and laterally rotate away from the body, dropping towards the ground. And the foot can come into the side or not. It's not typically a big deal when we're working through this pose. You'll extend long through the spine, turn your spine so your torso is in line with your knee. Keep the spine straight. Maybe think about leading with your chest as you crawl your hands out towards your foot. We're not taking hold of anything here. When you start to get to that space where you really start to feel a tug on the back side of your right leg, getting into those hamstrings, pause there, palms turn up, and let your head hang. You're going to stay right here, relax through the right leg, careful not to engage any of the muscles in the leg. Remember our first principle of being that loosey-goosey, wet noodle kind of space there of just letting the muscles relax, the tension release, and allowing that stretching tension to be present in our hamstrings where we're trying to target it. All right, so there's a couple of options here. Actually, there's lots of options. So let me show you some different ones. First of all, if you have some of your blocks, it can either be the skinny ones or maybe you got some thicker ones. And remember, you can use things at home that maybe you don't have to have yoga blocks. You can have something that works in place of it. So maybe you are here. And so first of all, know that you don't have to go crawl all the way out, lowering over the right leg right away. The lower you go towards the leg, the more intense the stretch gets. And remember, we want to hover around that 6, 7 out of 10 intensity. So you could always start right here. Maybe this helps with the lower back. And as you're here melting into the pose, you'll find that you'll be able to crawl your hands out and melt a little bit deeper towards the leg. Now, maybe you're in this space and you need a little bit of support here. You can always place the back of your hands, palms turn up towards the sky. You can place those on blocks. And remember, you have a couple of different heights here that you can play with. Now, maybe you're here and you want something for the forehead to rest on. You can always stack some blocks on the inside of the right leg and start to fold over and let your forehead rest on a block or two. And remember, we're here usually for about 2 to 5 minutes. You got plenty of time to remove blocks, remove props as you lower deeper into the pose. Another thing you can look at as well, maybe you need some support in this right knee. You can always prop your knee up on a block, or if you have a pillow or a blanket, you can always prop that up as well. I really like the pillow and the blankets because they're smushy, and this gives your body the space to drop deeper into the pose if and when it's ready to do that. If you have any kind of tightness in the lower back, maybe you're coming into this pose and you're noticing that the lower back is really rounding. You're really having a hard time keeping the spine up and straight. You have the option here to sit up on a block or two. You can always sit up on your pillow, your blankets. Maybe you got a couple of blankets here. You can sit up on the blankets as well. Anything to help support and elevate your hips so that you can find some length in your spine and hinge out and over the right leg. Maybe you are here and the knee is up really high, starting to lower. Maybe you're in that space where it's almost to the ground, but not quite, and you need some support there. You can always prop the right knee up on a block, a pillow, a blanket, all the good stuff there. There's lots of ways to prop here. Another thing you can do, so remember, these poses, you don't have to be flexible to do them. You can make the pose work for your body. So you can use these different props to help support the body and find your pose and meet your body where it's at right now. And time and practice, you might be able to remove some props. You might need to add some props. Doesn't matter. We're just trying to find that stretch. But maybe you are in the space and you have some tension in the lower back. It's really, really uncomfortable for you to start hinging out over the leg, but you want that hamstring stretch. You can actually take a chair. You might be able to do this with a stool or a coffee table, anything that you have space to slide your leg underneath. But you can slide the chair in close to the body. You're going to, again, find that length, turn your torso in line with the knee, and hinge out and start to lean on to the chair. Relax the leg. You need a little bit more space or height for any reason whatsoever. You can always stack up some blocks, lifting the torso back up. Of course, probably my favorite way to practice this is on a pillow. Really helps to bring in that sense of relaxation and that stillness. So lots of different ways to practice this pose. Remember, use props anywhere you need the support and at any time. Be kind to your body, meet your body where it's at, and work with it. This practice is for your whole life. It's a lifelong practice, so you have plenty of time to practice this pose and find what works best for you. It's going to be different every time you practice this, and it could be different on each side. You got your whole life to remove props, blocks, blankets, all that stuff, and find your way deeper into a pose. So that is your single side leg stretch here. We will be practicing. You'll see this pop up in our hamstrings class. Keep practicing. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, and I will see you in class soon.